it was possible to trigger emotional states, empowering states on demand, not only for yourself, but for your prospects, for your coaching clients? What if you could take memories, emotions, literally the neural pathways that someone has already created and use them for your advantage or for their advantage? That's called anchoring. And there's no way we're going to cover all of it in the next 10 minutes. But I do want to talk about anchoring and how to trigger those empowering states on demand. So again, guys, thanks for jumping on board. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, bell, follow, all that fun stuff, and go to lifecoachlifestyle.com. Get your free book. And if you're already a coach, learn what it means to be certified with the Inner Compass Coaching and how we can help you. I'm going to jump in today. I'm going to talk quick, so listen. I want to define what anchoring is, why it works neurologically, behaviorally, 4 keys to effective anchoring, how to set and fire an anchor during a coaching session, how to collapse negative anchors, and then there's so much more. Will I cover all of this in 10 minutes? Probably not. We're probably going to go into another video. But let's jump in. So anchoring allows you to help your clients. So we're going to talk about using it for clients. We're going to talk about using it for persuasion. Let's start with clients. Anchoring helps you, or allows you to help your clients access powerful emotional states on demand. That could be confidence, calm, joy, motivation, whatever they need and whenever they need it most. This skill changes the game. So what is anchoring? Well, in neuro-linguistic programming, which is where anchoring really developed, an anchor is a stimulus, like a touch, a word, a gesture that is linked to a specific internal state. And it's based on classical conditioning. You remember Pavlov's dog. Ring the bell, when the food, they would saliva, and then pretty soon they could just ring the bell and the dog would saliva. Now, think about this. How many of you have smelled a certain smell and it takes you back? There's one cologne I can smell. I just smell it and I instantly go back to high school. Does that make sense? There are certain things that I see and I instantly go back. Literally, I can see one picture on a TV screen and instantly go back to my grandmother's house. Instantly go back when my mom was alive. See, you're conditioned by a image, by a sound, by a smell, by a stimulus to a certain event. The stimulus plus emotional state is a neural link. So then the stimulus is the trigger for the same state. Get into that a little bit in a little bit more detail in a few minutes. But think about a song that instantly makes you feel nostalgic. A cologne, as I said, that reminds you of someone, maybe someone you love, or maybe just a time of your life. A handshake that immediately boosts your confidence. Inside of Inner Compass Coaching, we use this intentionally. We want to install anchors that activate resourceful states when the client needs them. Yeah, we want to literally install an anchor. So there's a couple of keys to effective anchoring. Number one, the intensity of the state. The stronger the emotion, the more powerful the anchor. One anchor that I can give you, I remember where I was when 9/11 happened. I can remember the car. I can remember where I was sitting. I remember the truck stop we stopped over. When we heard it on the radio to pull over and watch the news. And I'll remember that because it was an emotion, a strong emotion, right? So the stronger the emotion, if somebody just, I remember this, but there's no emotional attachment to it, then it's really hard to set an anchor. So you want to have the prospect or the coaching client fully associated into the experience. Then you want to fire the anchor or basically set an anchor at the peak of the emotional state. Again, it's more than we can cover in a 10-minute video. This is why we cover it with our one-on-one clients. And then something unique, like a uniqueness of the stimulus. It could be squeezing an earlobe, a specific word, a certain gesture, tapping of the knuckles. It can be so many different things that you're using. The stimulus needs to be unique. Okay. Then you want to reinforce that anchor by setting it 2 or 3 times during peak states. So we're going to repeat this multiple times. There's a sales trainer, which I'm going to tell you, I don't agree with this at all, but What he would do is when he would make a sale, they'd get in that emotional state. He was about to close a sale. He was actually using a drug and sniffing a drug and like, wow. And he would get into that state, and the anchor, or I'm sorry, the stimulus was the cocaine. Now later he moved that over to aromatherapy. Okay, much safer. But the key was he would do that multiple times. When he needed to get in that state of excitement, that state of yes, he would then use that stimulus, which was negative. Think of a positive stimulus, though. For many people, it's standing with your. It's been proven if you stand in the Superman pose, your hands on your shoulder for just 2 to 3 minutes, it drastically raises testosterone in men and women. Maybe that's it. You think of your time when you were courageous. Think of your time when you were bold, and you stand in that state. For other people, when I'm working with them one-on-one, I'll have different hand gestures. That maybe they clench a fist at a certain time, or they do a certain hand gesture at certain times to help them get into their peak state. All right. So you may tell somebody, think of a time when you felt completely unstoppable, fully confident. You want to elicit that resource state and you want to deepen it. Where do you feel that in your body? What do you see, hear, believe in that moment? Then as that feeling rises, you want to apply the anchor, tap their knuckles, use a gesture, whatever it may be. Then you want to break the state. Immediately you want to break it. Okay, what did you have for lunch? What did you have for breakfast? Then reapply. So you fire the anchor, reapply, and watch the state return. Now, do this 2 or 3 times with 2 or 3 memories. So you stack intensity. If I think of a time I was courageous, and that's one, but what was another time I was courageous? What was another time I was bold? What was another time I was confident? And I want to stack multiple memories. So again, we'll go one-on-one with this for our one-on-one clients, but you elicit a state, you deepen the state, you apply the anchor, you break the state, you fire the anchor, and you stack and reinforce. Okay, is that quick enough for you? Then you can actually go in and collapse negative anchors. So we want to cover this. Probably going to cover this on the next video, how to collapse a negative anchor, and we'll go deeper into how to set anchors. Again, for our one-on-one clients, I want to show you how to set anchors using language, using questions, and then using gestures to set anchors on an unconscious level. Okay, guys, lifecoachlifestyle.com. Pick up the book. Go. Let's communicate. Let's see if it's something I can help you with. Go out there, change the world, and get paid well for doing it. God bless.